welcome back to Bachelor in Paradise the morning after. I'm Gabby here with Anna, and we're joined by Kendall.
Yay!
After last night's heartbreak.
Oh, goodness.
How are you doing?
I'm doing a lot better than I was then.
Yes.
Let's clarify, when was that?
That was, was that probably a couple months ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've had some time to recover.
Yes.
And to process my feelings and kind of figure out where my head's at.
Yeah. How did it feel sort of watching that back?
Oh, it was awful watching it back.
Yeah.
I definitely cried last night. And it's weird, I've never seen a breakup where I felt that intensely before. I mean, I had Ari's breakup, but I was definitely at a different place with Joe, and so watching it back, it just brought back everything that I was feeling, like the confusion, so it was difficult.
The fact that you're not happy about where we're at after everything is really just the answer.
But I almost feel like you felt the same way.
Looking back, do you wish you had done anything differently?
Oh yeah, 100%. I feel like going through that, you do the best you can with everything that's given to you, but there's so much stimulation coming from so many different areas that it's incredibly difficult to know how to be. And so I feel like looking back at that, the one thing that I regret is I regret going to bed without talking to Joe. I think that was something that I should have calmed down and actually talked through how I was feeling with him as opposed to just leaving.
Were you feeling scared about commitment? Because that was kind of the way they kind of phrased it.
Yeah, I was completely terrified that night in a weird way because you never know what's going to happen. We had no idea that fantasy suites were happening the next day. Everything is such a surprise. So I literally felt like more girls can be coming. I felt extremely insecure that night. And I let my fear get the best of me. And I, instead of confronting it and instead of talking through it, I kind of just gave up, which is so much, it's kind of like me in relationships to get to that point where I see something getting really serious and I freak out and I run away, and that's exactly what I did.
You said you were worried about more people coming in, like other girls coming in and breaking up the two of you?
Because guys had just come that week, and so the next week I was thinking there's me more girls coming, and because I had gone on dates, I had kissed other guys, and Joe had never done that, I felt that at that point, like maybe he did have more curiosity, even though it was completely in my head. There was no reason for me to think that Joe's an amazing guy, and we were at a point where we were official. So, I felt completely awful for doing that.
Had you known that fantasy suites were coming, would you have held on?
I think I would have.
Yeah.
Only because fantasy suites, it's not mainly for the physical part. It's mainly because you have time, with that person, away from cameras. You can just kind of be yourself. So I felt like I needed that time with him. And I was terrified of going through another week, being in my head and not being able to have that time. So I would have definitely held on.
How quickly after you left Paradise were you regretting leaving? Was it already in the car, on the plane, by the time you got home?
I think it was right when he left.
Yeah.
Right when he left. And there was a time when I was like, I feel like I didn't say enough. I feel like I wanted to say more. And I wanted to just run after him. And I didn't. And
I saw that in you too when he walked away. I felt like your conversation wasn't finished.
No, it completely was not finished. And I have no idea why I didn't just listen to myself and go. But I think a lot of people in that moment are kind of paralyzed by the fear of what you can do and what you should do. And when it's being filmed at the same time, you're thinking even more so you question what you're going to do. So
I think right now the only reason why I wanted to be here was because of you.
I'm not staying.
When you were talking to him, you kind of said that you weren't sure how he felt in a sense.
Yeah.
But watching it from a viewer perspective, he was so loyal to you all throughout. All the interviews, he was all about you. When you watched it back, were you surprised to see how committed he was from the beginning?
Yeah, because interviews, the one thing that I love about the show is that in the interviews, that's completely private and confidential. It doesn't come out into, on the beach.
Right.
So I didn't know a lot of the stuff that he was saying and about me. And his actions did speak louder than his words. I knew he was committed and I knew that he wanted to leave together, and I did too. But for some reason in my head, if I didn't hear that, I was just questioning everything, and I shouldn't have. I mean, of course, you look back and you're like, what the hell are you doing? Why are you leaving? Of course he's committed to you. But at that moment, I was just so terrified that I was feeling so much that I could potentially lose that, and be embarrassed too, and go through that heartbreak. And
It sucks to know that it could have been more. It was the last minute that I had to hear all this stuff, and I don't know how to process it. I don't know how to feel about it. I just just want to see him again.
Okay, so let's talk Jenna and Jordan with their photo session.
Yeah.
Okay, is it just me? I always thought it was bad luck to put on a dress.
I thought so
a wedding
too.
dress
Yeah.
before the wedding, and then also to be seen
let
by
the
your
groom
significant
see it,
other.
yeah.
So I don't know if that could have been some bad juju.
I think the one thing that I really liked about that date is that Jenna was actually able to see it happening, you know? And I feel
Yes.
like seeing it be able to materialize in front of her and see him in the tux and walking down, it was a way to kind of romanticize the relationship and to say, oh wow, this is a real thing that could happen. And I think that's something that she needed in order to move forward.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like it helped her. Where I feel like some
Yeah.
people might backfire, I feel like for her it kind of helped her feel a little bit more into Jordan.
Oh, her energy shifted so much
Yeah,
after
it
that.
did.
And I think there was kind of like, I was always seeing Jenna and Jordan as like almost not even real people, almost like archetypes of people. And we finally saw Jenna be really like raw and open about her insecurities, and Jordan come back and say like, after you, there's no romance, it's just you. So seeing those sides of them, I connected more with them than I ever had before.
Well, they're both such characters, you know.
Yes.
They're such exaggerated forms of people. Like she's always like
Right.
the alien, he's like the model, and
Yeah.
I feel like being able to break it down to such a real level allowed us to kind of, it allowed me to understand why like their love was so real and why it worked, because I was able to see like those walls of like the whole facade of being like crazy, you know, disappear,
Yeah.
you know.
I love the part when she said that he loved her unconditionally, just like her family, and I was like, oh, that's
Yeah.
so sweet. I think that's so nice to find someone that feels that way about you.
I love that she
cute.
saw him as her family. You know, it's just a safety to have.
All right, so then we had Robbie enter Paradise.
Oh goodness.
What was your initial thought when you saw him walking down?
I had never really met Robbie before, so I didn't really know. I mean, I knew about him and things that had happened in the past. But I think the one thing I was thinking, I was like, here we go, and this is not my drama. I am not going to have any more drama. And so I kind of just took a little bit of a step back.
I feel like everyone else felt that way too. Everyone
Yeah.
else took a step back. All the girls were like, no, we don't want anything.
Yeah, no one was
Robbie.
really
Are you
interested.
kidding me? Like after the whole Leo thing, I was
Yeah.
just like, I'm not gonna welcome this back. And
Yeah.
But I think it was really funny to see like the model versus the model.
You know, Robbie's coming in here a little too late to try to pull a Mr. Steal Your Girl.
I was surprised. I thought there was going to be a little bit more of a showdown there, but Robbie
did
kind
too.
of backed down a little
They
bit.
kind of teased it like something was going to happen
Yeah.
with him and Jenna, but it like totally
Nothing
didn't.
happened.
He was definitely interested in Jenna, but I
Yes.
feel like Jenna was, at that point, after the wedding dress and everything, she was so committed to Jordan that she was like,
No,
Yeah.
not happening.
yeah.
And so then he and Shu, which I guess never was, I think it was kind of just like, she's the only one left, and then that just kind of fizzled out. into
Yeah,
nothing.
I know. I was kind of surprised. Surprised. I mean, it's hard to have a relationship get to that point that late in the game.
Yeah.
So I
Right.
don't think anyone goes in expecting to be engaged or expecting to even leave together unless it's like magical, like love at first sight. And I think with Shu and Robbie, I think they had met before and they were friends, and I don't think they were ready to take it to that
Okay.
level. Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, Diggy, John, and Olivia.
A love triangle there.
No.
I was surprised that she gave John her rose.
I was
because
too.
I thought her and Diggy had a stronger connection.
I think Olivia gave her rose to John not because, I don't know, like I feel like Olivia really liked Diggy, and it was obvious. Like as soon as he came down, she was just like smitten by him, and she was very intrigued. I do think John gave her a lot more. I think John was just a really great guy and wasn't trying to win her rose at the last. At the
Right.
rose ceremony, he was kind of there the entire time, and so with Diggy, it was too late to kind of show Olivia that he was there for her, or maybe she was questioning whether he just wanted a rose to continue on. It's really hard to know like where someone's mind is when it comes in when they come in that late.
I feel like he couldn't have been that bummed out because they did film the trumpet player in the car with him, so he was like,
He
it was a good
look
sport
really
about
sad
it.
though when the trumpet player was next to him. I was wondering if he was really upset or if he was just.
I think they probably told him maybe just look a little sad. Or
Yeah.
maybe he couldn't have been that sad. They went on
No.
one date. I think.
Yeah.
It was okay.
That's true.
What did you think about John in Paradise? Because I got a little annoyed with John towards the end, just because I felt like he was kind of, obviously Paradise, you want to play the field, but I felt like John was starting to lead people on a little bit.
He was like, it was funny. I mean, I kissed John. One of the many people that John has kissed. I was one of those people. But he's an amazing guy. He's very intelligent. And I found myself, I think the reason why I kissed him and maybe so many other girls did kiss him is because he's so easy to talk to and he's so well spoken. You can mistake that friendship for something that could potentially be really strong, you know? So I saw him as someone that I can talk to and open up to, and normally I'm thinking that's a relationship, but in my case, as soon as I kissed him, I realized, like, what the heck am I doing?
Right.
Yeah.
You know? And I think a lot of people might have wanted to see a romantic side of him, but then it was more like a friendship as opposed to.
I kind of liked him playing the field because I got the feeling it was his first time, and I liked that. I like to watch it.
I know. I mean, he's a great
like, I'm
catch.
here.
He's definitely a great catch, and I think he'll have no problem finding someone after this.
Yes, agreed.
Or maybe has already found someone. We'll see.
Yeah.
But I feel like he's coming into his own, and this has given him so much more confidence that
Right.
he's not afraid to like make those moves.
Yeah, definitely very confident.
Yeah.
Definitely, for sure.
And he and Olivia left. I kind of liked how they left too.
Yeah.
They left like, we're not ready for like
Yeah.
fantasy suite, but we're not over. You know.
It's really respectful, and he's a respectful
It was
guy.
very John.
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
surprised how
Not that I know him,
everyone...
but
You kind of know him. I mean, you
Classic
know.
John.
It's funny because you see everybody in their highs and lows and decisions that
Right.
they make, like, and through love, which is the most vulnerable way to see somebody. Like, I think everyone that watches the show does know us to a certain extent.
I was surprised the way everyone ended it with the breakups. Like, I feel like the breakups that did happen were pretty nice, pretty respectful, pretty
Yeah.
honest. I mean,
well,
minus
all but the one.
minus
Yeah.
Astrid and Kevin.
That was hard to watch.
I was watching that. I
shocked.
was so surprised.
Yeah.
They were like the mom and dad of Paradise, and they were so strong since the beginning.
And we've been saying they were like the no drama, like
Oh, yeah, they would
couple.
always sit back.
Yeah,
It
they're
really
just
came out of
observing.
nowhere.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, they used to sit on this day bed that would look over the beach, and they would observe all the drama in different
Yes.
areas.
If anything, they were like boring because they never had any turmoil from
they
as
were,
viewers.
they were just like instantly
Yes.
connected.
So that was kind of crazy.
Yeah, when I found that out,
Very
I was very
surprising.
surprised.
Watching it, I was trying to figure out where Kevin was coming from, and I really couldn't understand it at all.
Well, he had an emotional last week with the Ashley I stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
So-
weird. It's weird because he's been through this a couple times before. So this isn't his
Right.
first time he's been through it. He's been engaged twice, or he's left with somebody twice.
Yeah.
And both of those times have been something that has really broken him down and made him probably more insecure with relationships. Because the first time he felt like it wasn't as genuine, or as soon as they were supposed to move together, everything fell apart. And then with Ashley, he also put himself out there, and I think that kind of ended it in a way that he didn't expect. So I feel like going into it the third time, that's hard. And
Right.
Astrid's friends with a lot of people, that he has had experiences with too. So I think, we all know each other, and I feel like, I don't know, I feel like his head got the best of him.
Yeah.
He's in his head.
I felt so bad for her because I feel like she tried so hard to be so supportive for him,
Yeah.
and it kind of blew back in her face a little bit.
Yeah.
So.
I can't give you any more than what I've given you. So if it's not enough, it's not enough.
Okay, so we have our last 3 remaining couples.
I know, man.
Standing.
Should we do our proposal predictions for tonight?
I think I already know who I think is going to get proposed to.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm seeing a Jenna and Jordan proposal.
Yeah, they already
that
talked
wedding
about
dress.
it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I'm seeing a Crystal and Chris proposal.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm seeing an Annalise and Camille.
Is it just me, or does Camille feel like an unwilling participant in this relationship?
He was actually so vocally into it. you know?
Really?
Yeah. So I feel like
Maybe it's the editing, because it's
it was interesting. A lot of people were
across.
surprised by it.
Yeah.
But I can see. I don't know. I can see them at least trying to work it out in the future. I'm not sure if I
Yeah.
see a proposal either, just
Yeah.
because he did come a little bit later,
Right.
And she's gone through so much, and I feel like he has to almost catch up to where she is.
Right.
Yeah.
I think she saw it. Like, as soon as she saw him, she
Yes.
saw it, and I think.
One, I
probably
think
took
she
a
was
little
looking
while.
to see it.
Exactly. Well, yeah. I mean, he's
love
an
it
attractive
first.
guy.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
how can you not?
And she was very vocal, even when we had her here about wanting what she wants. She
Wanting
knows
a
what she
ring.
wants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's going to get it. Even early on when she was with Jordan, she was like, I could see myself leaving with the ring.
Well, she's just so. I feel like the one thing I love about Annalise is that she's so romantically open and vulnerable. She puts herself out there, and either
Yeah.
you love it
Yes.
or
You
you
don't,
leave it.
yeah.
And I think it's very brave to do that.
Yeah,
a lot of people say
definitely.
she's the one that's afraid of like bumper cars and all this stuff, but I'm like, she's like the bravest one on
It's
the beach.
true. That's
Yeah,
true.
putting yourself out there for love is definitely takes a lot of
Yeah,
courage.
in so many different forms too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching today's morning after recap, and make sure to tune in tonight to see what happens on the Bachelor in Paradise finale.
It's a doozy.
Can't wait.